It's time for the Nebraska Football Coaches Show, alongside head coach Matt Rhule. Proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman placed product to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com.
Irvin off to the left of Heinrich, who's in the gun. 2 to the near side. Snap back, play action, back to throw. Wide open down the middle field pass. Caught, touchdown. Thomas Faboni, for the second straight week, has found the end zone. It's the shotgun snap. Now rolls the pocket to the right. Turns, throws downfield. The pass is going to be, I think, picked off in front of the Husker bench. INT for Quentin Newsom. His first career INT. Galiak Manis, 2 on the play clock, just gets it off. Back to throw. Huskers send the blitz. They get after him. Nash gets a sack. Back at the 30-yard line. Huskers' second sack of the drive. Stretch play left to Grant. Anthony bounces to the outside of the 10 to the 5. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
And thank you. Welcome to our weekly football show. Tonight, the head coach with us for the entire hour. If you want to get a comment or question to him, fire off a text, 402-413-2400. Huskers coming off of a victory over Northern Illinois, 35-11. Congratulations. That felt pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, I was really happy for the players. You know, they've worked really hard and stuck together, and it was great to get a win at home.
There was some really encouraging things in there. The way you kind of took over the game the last quarter and a half, your offensive line kind of started to win the battle against a front that I know you had an awful lot of admiration for. That Northern Illinois group can play some defense up front.
Yeah, we understand that we're going to face teams that have, excellent defensive lines, tough schemes. Sometimes people are going to do different things against us. We want to be kind of like a body blow organization, like a great boxer. We understand that it's not the knockout punch in the fourth quarter. Sometimes it's the jab, it's the body shot, it's the uppercut in the first quarter, second quarter that soften people up. And so we want to be the best team in the end. We weren't able to do that against Minnesota. We weren't able to do that against Colorado. But I thought the guys played physical, played hard, and were able to get that in the fourth quarter.
How'd you feel like the guys handled the emotion of the night? First home game. You made a great comment the other day about first time your entire team was at a game because you can only travel 74 for conference road games. How do you feel like they handled the emotions?
Yeah, I think back in all my years being a head coach, even at a place like Temple where you're sometimes playing money games early or whatever, I've never started out. I can't remember ever starting out on the road 2 games in a row. It's really unusual, and but we tried to make the best out of it, right? Make it into a good thing in terms of learning, a lot about ourselves. So I think to come home, to have that energy, to have everyone around, I thought it was great. I think the biggest thing for me is, we obviously are always going to feed off the energy. We want to celebrate with the fans and have them all be a part of it. But we want to make sure that when we catch a touchdown or intercept the ball or get a sack, that we're celebrating with our teammates. And I thought the guys did a great job of that. You could feel the joy and the passion and the energy, because if the teammates love each other, the crowd feels it, the energy just grows, and that's what I wanted to feel, and I felt it.
The energy was really good for the night game. It usually are at Lincoln, but I thought the way you started offensively, I know you scripted out your first drive, it was really well executed. I know we had a little delay, you had to use a timeout to get everybody on the field, but man, it was a really nice drive to start the game offensively. Yeah,
we were going to come out and throw that ball to Marcus Washington the first play. Felt better throwing it, left to right. We knew if we started with the ball on the right, if we started with a kickoff return, we're going to put it on the left hash. Started on the right, so ran an option play to get the ball to the left. Unfortunately, Billy caught the punt and just was expecting us to throw the dagger. So it was all things we're still working through. We're certainly a work in progress. There's a lot of things we have to improve. But I thought it was good to see the guys go out there and on that first drive have some energy, make some plays. Not everything was perfect. A couple times it was a zone reach and hand the ball off. And Heinrich's first start, keeps the ball, but he rumbles for 8 yards. So we settled down, saw what they were how they were attacking us, and I thought the coaches did a good job of kind of pivoting to some things that could help us.
His first start, any quarterback's first start, you obviously you're going to see their stats, but how did he manage the game? Didn't seem like he got the calls in, he got the huddles lined up. How did he do in that phase of things?
I thought he was great. Had good energy, got guys in and out of the huddle. He managed the no huddle, got to some man beating and blitz beating checks that allowed us to extend some drives. Kind of figured out as the game went on. I think when you have a guy like Heinrich or a guy like Jeff, or even a guy like Chuba that can run, sometimes the third down looks that you see are going to be a little bit different. And you might go into the game thinking, hey, we're going to get, man coverage, pressure, and all of a sudden they're playing cover 2 because everyone wants to see the quarterback so he can't get out and run. So, I thought he did a nice job of managing the things that were being thrown at him.
Coach Satt met with the media today and said that Jeff went through quite a bit of practice today. How's his recovery going?
He's getting better, man. I mean, I think the biggest issue for him right now would be, to be able to run the football, run the options, run the zone reads, quarterback draw, RPO stuff. RPO's only on the quarterback draws, obviously, and then scramble in the pocket. He's probably not quite there, but he's been a great teammate. Was great on the sidelines, working at it, inside. So really, we have 3 quarterbacks that we feel like can go in the game, and all 3 of them are working really hard. That's a rarity. That's hard to do in college football, to have a couple that you feel good about. Yeah, I think you go back and look at Nebraska football over the last couple of years, that very rarely has the starting quarterback played the whole year. I mean, it's happened, but not even last year, went back and forth. And so at the very beginning, we felt like, hey, we have 3. And, then we had Luke Longville and Jack Wilkie. They walked on, and they do a great job for us. So we have 5 guys that can manage the offense, and it might take all 5. You mentioned in your press conference yesterday you thought a big moment in the game was after the Husker turnover that your defense went out and forced a field goal. You thought that was a big moment in the game, didn't you? I thought it was the moment that we showed that we're going to play like a team. There were obviously times at Colorado with the turnovers happening the way they happened. The first drive, okay, we bounced back, and then kind of right before the half and giving up the points. I didn't love the way that we always responded as a team. I think and there was never anything negative, but it's not just about saying, hey, okay, don't worry about the offense, let's go out there and play, or hey, let's not worry about the defense. Great teams say, hey, let's go pick up the offense. Hey, let's go pick up the defense. And when you do this long enough, you understand that right now maybe the defense has to pick up the offense sometimes. Eventually that'll flip. There'll be moments where the special teams have to do that. There'll be moments where the D-line has to pick it up for the safeties. And we just want them to understand that. Like, all this is about all of us playing together, having each other's back. And what I thought it allowed the offense to do, and certainly Heinrich, is play a little free, because you cannot play quarterback saying, if I make a mistake, I'm coming out, or if I make a mistake, we're going to lose the game. There's way too much happening. And so when they went out and made that stop, I thought I learned something about our defense, and I thought the team responded to it. In that vein, our first text question from Ken says, Coach, I've really noticed the improvement in tackling with this year's team. Just love it. Your thoughts about how good a tackling team you have? We tackle a lot. We practice it. A lot of head coaches are, offensive-minded, spread coaches, and that's great. That's absolutely great. And a lot of those teams, they try to run a bunch of plays, and, the defense kind of plays over, they blow the whistle, they reset. We run to the ball at practice. We strike blockers and get off blocks. We strike defenders. And, that's what I think allows us to become good tacklers. And then our players buy into it. Even today, I kept reminding them, hey, some of our guys in defense are only playing 15 to 30 snaps because we're rotating so much and we're having so many 3-and-outs. You have to practice your tackling, because all of a sudden you wake up and tackling can be gone in a minute. So we want to be a great tackling team. We want to run great angles, play with great effort. And Tony's got the boys doing it, and we just have to keep it up as the weeks go. Did you think in spring you had a good tackling team? Yes. You did? Yeah. I haven't had many bad tackling teams. I'm certainly not a defensive guru. That's all Tony. But the way that we practice, I believe we'll always have a defense that whatever our talent level is, we maximize it, because we let our defense practice, and a lot of people don't anymore. I've got Coach Darlington sitting out there at practice every night. Oh, yeah. And as I walk out the field, Coach is going to tell me what he thinks, and I love that about him. And he tells me all the time, I used to always let the scout team offense, I let them hold, I let them grab. When we had a big win, we'd have a party for them. I literally steal the thing. We had a party for the scout team last night, because I thought they gave a great look. So we want to make things harder in practice for the game. And so because we do that, I think, the guys on defense get better quickly and have a lot of success. It's hard, and you said this after the game Saturday, hard to pinpoint just a couple of guys because you have so many of them playing really well on that side of the ball. Yeah, that's the point I want to make sure I say. We had so many guys play well. Like, I was walking with Keith to the post-game press conference, and Keith, I can't remember who it was like out in front of me, because we have to walk outside right now to get to the media room because of the construction. And it was like Nash Hutchmacher, it was Omar Brown, And I was kind of like, what'd you guys do tonight? You know, because really, I mean, it just felt like it was everybody, right? I mean, Q was all over the field, Luke's all over the field, and then you turn the tape on. The thing about defense is, Javen picks a pass off, but Ruquan Buckley 2 plays in a row affects the quarterback. And that's what we're trying to teach. That's what Tony's doing a great job of. Coop is doing a great job, Rob, Terrence. But then as a team, it's one guy doing his job at a high level, allowing another guy to make a play, and that's why we want to celebrate together. That's why we want to enjoy each other and appreciate each other, because it takes 11.
Another text question, Coach. What is your philosophy behind having a more physical practice on Friday instead of the more traditional walkthrough?
Yeah, I know Scott did the same thing. I've evolved over the years. If you went and saw me at Temple, we were kind of like it was here for years: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday walkthrough, Sunday off, Friday walkthrough. I was always a big day. I wanted to take, the Sabbath off, Sundays off, and come in on Monday. And then you start getting to different places at class schedules and taking labs and all that. And you realize how valuable Monday can be. And so then recovery physically, coming in after the game is probably a little bit better for you. So we've adjusted over the years. Here we practice Tuesday mornings, Wednesday nights, Thursday mornings, Friday mornings. So it's just unique what we do. But I think the biggest thing is, we go really hard on Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, we practice hard. So we take Thursday to recover. It's more of a walk-through day, let our bodies kind of heal back up. And a lot of people kind of go out and throw it around and jog on Friday. We go out there on Friday. We expect things to be close to full speed. We want to treat Friday practice like the first 2 drives of the game. And when we walk up that field on Friday, if it looks crisp, then we feel like, hey, you know what, we've put the work in this week. We should have the right to feel confident.
What'd you do as a player at Penn State? Do you remember?
Oh, that was back in that was kind of Sunday off, Monday full pads, Tuesday full pads, Wednesday full pads, Thursday full pads, and then as the season went on, we just kept lowering and lowering. Coach Paterno was a sports scientist before there was sports science. I mean, he was amazing at gauging the team, making sure we were always fresh. Fridays we came in and we had like a 3-hour meeting, and I remember our coaches would put up every defense on an acetate and draw every single thing. It was something. So what we do now is a little different, but it's fun.
The NCAA's really kind of limited a lot of the stuff you do, how many contact days you can have even in the preseason camp. Has the pendulum swung too far? I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, I think you're only limited to 2 scrimmages maybe even in fall camp, or?
Yeah, in season is about what I was used to. It's 20 hours a week. It's really the preseason. They've limited the contact. And I'm the first person, let me just say this, that believes in player health and safety. I also, and again, I'm not a doctor, I also believe that if you don't want to get injured, if you want to be healthy, you have to harden the body and you have to practice a certain way. And so not crazy. I think people always think football coaches are, like what they see in the movies, and that they're going to be out there tackling every play. Like, if your best player gets hurt, you're not a good team. So we want everyone to be healthy too. But you know what? The rules are the rules. I'm always one of those guys like, hey, whatever they say the rules are, I'm going to follow them. And that's where we are right now. So we just try to maximize our time, and we're blessed to have a team that loves to do extra. We're blessed to have a group of guys that they get done with class and they come back over and watch tape on their own or recover. I mean, they're bought into the process.
Did you see the movie Junction Boys? Wasn't that what it was called?
I read the book.
The A&M?
Yeah, Texas A&M, Bear Bryant, the Junction Boys, yep.
A little different now.
No doubt. No doubt.
What it was there. Coach is with us till the top of the hour. If you want to be a part of it, 402-413-2400. Fire those texts off. We will pass those on to Coach. That is our Sports Sunday hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for. More coming up next.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Day by Day is the new documentary about Tom Osborne and the Nebraska Cornhuskers' decade-long pursuit of a national championship, featuring interviews with former players and coaches, as well as famous fans like Peyton and Archie Manning, Larry the Cable Guy, and numerous NCAA and NFL legends. Day by Day is the riveting, untold story of one of the most dominant, celebrated, and controversial football teams ever. Now available on demand.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. Without this, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a sensor button. My password to my bank account is Ty's cool password 1. Uh-oh. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Purchasing your vehicle has never been easier with Woodhouse Hyundai. Right now, lease the 2023 Hyundai Elantra SCL for $305 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles a year. Plus, when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at WoodhouseHyundaiofOmaha.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $19.99 down plus first payment and $2.99 doc fee to sign it. Offer expires 7/31/2023. See dealer for details.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealers, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Head coach with us until the top of the hour. Huskers getting ready for their final non-conference game. Louisiana Tech will be here for a 2:30 kick on Saturday afternoon. A text from Andrew. Coach, I'm amazed by how many guys were playing on defense with very little drop-off. Have you always played that many guys, and how much of an advantage do you see that becoming as the year goes on, building depth and keeping guys fresh?
We've always believed in playing a lot. I've never played this many. I think going to Colorado, the tempo, the altitude, we knew early on we were going to have to do it. And I think it's just a credit to the guys. Like, they're out there competing at a high level. Nick was probably starting at one point, got hurt, so Bullock steps up. Now Javen has a role. I think the guy, it's a credit to the system. It's one of the reasons why we went to this system, because we thought, Jamari starts off at jack. He's playing outside backer, gets some injuries. He's injured. He comes back. We put him at defensive end. He's flexible, right? Prince will play defensive end for several weeks. Now he goes to jack. So that's what I love about the system. But I think the real thing is just the credit to the players, the way that they're doing it. And as I said, we've always practiced really hard, really physically, competitively. We've adjusted the amount of reps after kind of talking to Coach Osborne, the way that they did things here, and kind of more drills going on at once, especially in the fall. And I think it just brought guys along a lot faster.
You mentioned Jamari. Didn't play at Minnesota, but he's had sacks in each of the last 2 games. He must be doing some good things.
Yeah, he was really coming on, and then had an injury, had a second injury. Glad to see him back out there. And he made the adjustment, from going from one position to the other, and that's what teams need. They need guys who will do that.
Okay, next text question is from Mike in Grand Island. And Mike, I'm not sure this is totally accurate, but I'll ask the coach. It says, on our final play, rather than taking knee, we ran the fullback. Beautiful. Gives opponents something to think about, and was a real crowd pleaser. Now, I don't know that Lubin was your fullback, was he?
Yeah, we just had one back in the backfield, so he was the tailback. But, it was really important to me. We've got a lot of guys, right, who work hard, and I wanted to get as many of them in the game as possible. So that last drive, we played some guys. Some guys had a chance to get in there and play. I asked the guys to fair catch the kickoff return so we could get a couple guys on offense out there. We got my man Klossman in. Like, he does an unbelievable job, great workers. We were able to get him in, and they kicked it right to him. He recovers it. Doesn't really do that position, knows exactly what to do. That's why I love him. We get the offense out there and hand the ball off to Lubin. Some great blocks, great run. John Goodwin, unbelievable. I think it's John's first time getting in a game. Local guy, local tight end gets in there. Great block at the point of attack. Good, really nice run by Trev. Mangini comes in, blocks the heck out of the safety, gets up. He's kind of high-stepping. It was awesome. And what was cool about it was seeing the way the team responded to that because, again, the things I believe in, team, loving each other, brotherhood, all those things, everyone thinks has gone away with NIL and transfer and all those things. I think it's more applicable than ever. And so seeing them respond like that meant a lot to, hopefully, those guys.
Mike, appreciate the text from out in Grand Island. Folks, contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. You were talking in the first segment about teams that run, spread, and get the ball out. You're kind of describing Louisiana Tech, right? That's kind of what we're going to see this week from them.
Yeah, Sonny Cumbie was the offensive coordinator at TCU when I was the head coach at Baylor. Excellent coach. Comes from the air raid. A lot of those guys have adapted their run games now. They've added the RPO, so it's not just all drop back anymore. But Sonny can do it all. He worked for Joey McGuire, Garrett's father, who I worked with. So we have a lot of connections. Jake Brown's the offensive coordinator. Worked with all these guys. So, they've done different things in different games. They're multiple. They have good quarterbacks. They have dynamic players across the board. Smoke Harris is as good as it gets. So it'll be a real challenge. They ran the ball for 241 yards last week. So they're not a drop back passing team only. They can move it.
Different kind of challenge, though. Maybe more like Colorado, a little bit like
a lot of the same things. A lot of the same. Get the ball and play. Catch the ball, throw it out on a screen. Get the ball, throw it out to a hitch. Run the football, or run RPO. So it's a great style of offense. It's tough to defend. You have to play team football against it. You got to, you can't turn the ball over. You got to control the ball on offense, score points when you have a chance, and on defense, you have to take the ball away and get off the field. And so we're getting off the field great. I'd like to take the ball away. I think that would jumpstart us, and we need some plays on special teams.
All right, we're going to get technical with this next one, Coach. Irvin Scotter says you've used the term jack linebacker. Can you describe what that is?
Yeah, so we're in the 3-3. So we have 3 dedicated defensive linemen. We have 3 linebackers, and we have 5 DBs, 3 safeties, and 2 corners. You'll see sometimes, if you watch the film closely, a lot of times we're playing with 3 corners and 2 safeties. Coop will throw Tommy in there, and Newsom will go to safety or something like that. So we do some different things on the back end. The jack linebacker, so we play with a Will, a Mike, and a jack. So the Mike's the middle backer, then we have 2 edge guys. And the jack is the guy who's probably the best pass rusher. So if you think about a 3-4 defense, he's the Trev Alberts. He's the Travis Hill. He's the pass rusher. So we have different body types at that. You know, Makai, who's more of an off-the-ball backer, he does some things. MJ comes in, he does some different things. You know, coach tries to call it with everyone's skill set. They can all do it all, but everyone's skill set. So, yeah, the Jack is sort of that hybrid outside backer / DN guy.
Good. James in Omaha. Coach was at the game with my son on Saturday, and he had the time of his life. He got autographs from about 20 players, but a couple of them stood out. Blaze, Nash, and Brian Buschini were a few that took extra time to talk to him. Ethan Piper let my son sign his cast. He hasn't stopped talking about it. You've got some great kids in that program. I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, those are great guys, and many, many more. You know, I tell our team all the time, you know, if you come in here on a Sunday, you're probably going to see Leona in here with me on Sunday afternoons around the team. And, you know, when you bring your son around, I bring my son around, that's one thing. You bring your daughters around these guys, it's really a testament to who they are. So I love the group of guys that we have, and I love them when they're doing everything right. I love them when they make mistakes. I love them as they go through life. I mean, they're great guys, and I'm glad that people are recognizing that.
David and Holdridge. Coach, you had second and short a couple times the other night, and you opted for the quarterback sneak. Any thoughts about just opening the playbook up in those situations?
Never. No.
Get the first down.
I did a study. I did a study of New England when I was at Baylor, and I studied Tom Brady when they were at their heyday, and it was like 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3 were direct runs, get the first down. You know, especially when you're not a tempo offense, you know, you just want to suffocate people. We want to stay on the field, and so will there be a day that maybe we do something like that? Maybe. You know, we have a lot of work to do to get to the point where. But that's when we won 11 games at Baylor and we're playing in the championship game. You're going to see us on 2nd and 1 running quarterback sneak, running fullback dive. We want to stay on the field and make defenses defend us because, again, just going back to everything I talk about, like body blows, like just the accumulation of reps, right? A lot of people run the ball early, and if they're not having elite success, they get away from it. You know, we believe runs in the first quarter equal, you know, long runs in the fourth quarter. So staying on the field is really important to us.
Dorothy Lynch, home-style light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. Now the text for you, Coach, welcome to Nebraska. Congratulations on the win. I saw a few of our ball carriers lay the wood to their tacklers. LOL. Man, that was something to see the other night. Are you happy when you see your ball carriers attack a defender like that?
Yeah, you know, we preach about dominant contact, and that's, you know, that's at every position. You know, this is a game of moving people. This is a game of physicality. We want to be dominant. I would love it if you know, Heinrich wasn't trying to do that all the time. You know, I mean, those guys have shoulders, so I'd love it if he was a little bit less, you know, hey, let me run people over. I didn't love it when AG stood up and the guy was on the ground. He started standing over him. I want to make sure everything we do is,
classic.
You know, we're never gonna disrespect an opponent, but I do want to celebrate. I do want to have fun. I do want to be physical. So the guys are kind of figuring me out a little bit in terms of, you know, it can be complex at first, like, hey, run the guy over, but don't be disrespectful. But you know, like I said, our guys, they practice the right way, and I thought that was big for us in the game. I mean, you talk about energy, the energy of the crowd, all those things, but when you see one of your teammates physical on the field on a big play, I think it ignites the sideline.
Tim in Minnesota. Coach, welcome to Nebraska. What ways have you seen the offensive line improve, and where can they still get better?
I mean, we've run the ball for over 200 yards 3 games in a row. There were 2 Power 5 opponents, and I think, you know, we haven't even scratched the surface of what we can do. Again, if you're staying on the field better on 3rd down and not turning the ball over, 240, 250 sometimes becomes 270, 280, 290, 300. I want to continue to, you know, when I say improve, I want to get better at everything, right? So I want to continue to run the football really well. I want to protect the quarterbacks. So I think our offensive line's functioning well as a unit. You know, they have a lot of challenges, you know, in the weeks ahead, starting with this week, all the pressure that we're going to get, all the blitzes that we're going to get, all the movement that we're going to get. And so I just want them every week just to get a little bit better, both in the run and the protection game. And I see them working at it. I always tell the tight ends in that. A lot of times we talk about the run game, we talk about the O-line. You know, to me, the tight ends are such a huge part of the run game, and as are the receivers. And in the passing game, you know, the receivers racing to get open. Like, you know, you're not trying to beat the corner, you're trying to beat the defensive end. And so just understanding team football, but I like the direction our offensive line's headed.
Good. We'll finish this segment with a light note. Andy in our chat room says, Coach, do you know the secret behind the drones? I don't know if you got a chance to look up and see them in the third. That was unbelievable. I don't know how they do that. You maybe do.
You know, it's funny. This summer, we were, you know, we go up to for the summer up to a little bit by New Jersey, and you know, they did that at the Phillies game, and I thought it was awesome. And so I think, you know, I'd say the people here that handle all the game operations, it's entertainment. It's amazing. You know, like, I don't know if my daughters watched the game. I don't know if they did, right? Like, they just were like, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this? Did you see that? So, and it's funny because I've watched so many things online. So they don't ask me my opinion, but if they did, I'd say bring those drones back every night game. Only thing I would say is this might be popular, might not. You know, when I watched all the old things, you know, from the 2015, I just wish they'd bring back DJ Cool, Let Me Clear My Throat. It's like one of the greatest songs of all time. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. And then they were playing it here, and I was like, and then I guess we don't do it anymore. But again, I got to get the football right, and I'll let the experts handle game operations because I thought it was awesome.
It was that drone show.
I want to clear one thing up. I didn't see it during the game. I want to make that very. People
like, watch later.
My kids showed it to me on YouTube. Like, Dad, have you seen this? And I saw it. Honestly, I thought it was like fake. I was like, that can't. How do you spell? There's no place like Nebraska.
No place
But I was not looking up. I want to make that. I was deeply thinking about with the guys. What do we do next? So I'll make that. I don't want people.
You were up 21-3 at that point. So
we're final score.
Wasn't over yet. All right, time for this week's Alumni Hall. Look back at a great Husker. Tonight we focus in on running back Ameer Abdullah.
Just a four-man rush. Armstrong to the sideline. Here he comes, Abdullah. Wow. And Abdullah still on his feet. Westerkamp throws a block. Ameer Abdullah all the way home. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Ameer still playing in the NFLs with the Raiders right now, and you've run across the path of Ameer Abdullah.
You know, long before I ever thought I'd be a Husker, having had a chance to coach Ameer, one of the classiest, best people I've ever been around. And so my wife, and she'll do it here, she would do Thursday nights. She's always done it at Baylor, started at Temple, then Baylor, and then Carolina. Even in the NFL, she would do Thursday nights, different position group over for dinner to our house. And Rameer came over with the running backs. And then the next week we had the receivers, and he showed back up. I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, well, my roommate's Zill Strife. I just figured I'd come over and hang out. I was like, yeah, come on in. So grew close with him. The business side of that is such a weird thing. You know, gets to the end of the year, gets a better deal at the Raiders. I would have loved, obviously, to keep coaching him. And that's a league where, like, the position, the players, the older guys at the position buy usually their position group a Christmas gift. And usually they buy the coaches that too. But when you're the head coach, you get nothing. I mean, you get nothing. So I got nothing. But I got a book. And I got it from Ameer, and it had a beautiful inscription in it. And I won't say what it says because it was from him to me, but it stayed with me. And it stayed with me during a hard time, you know, and it stayed with me to this day. And it's something I always think about as we're trying to get this thing to where we wanted to get to. And then I come to the Huskers. And even the week going into Colorado, last week going into Northern Illinois, I hear from him. Just an unbelievable person, a great friend of mine.
Has he been back since you took the job?
I have not seen him since. No. We talked a lot about getting together this off season, but you know, I really, you know, I haven't really even been home yet, let alone anything else. So hopefully this off season we can connect.
This won't surprise you. He and Ron Brown had a good relationship when they were there.
No doubt.
Ron was his position coach.
Who doesn't have a good relationship with Ron?
Exactly. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop to their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. Keep those texts coming, 402-413-2400. More with the coach coming up.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
there's room at the table. Saving you money on every gallon at a CVA fuel site, Central Valley Ag offers a 5-cent per gallon discount at the pump to CVA fuel card holders. Now, for a limited time, get a 5-cent discount and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game when you get a new or additional CVA fuel card. Sign up to win at CVAcoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Greetings, human neighbor. Hey, Zendar. I brought you a little gift for suggesting Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It's a great game.
Affirmative. Since the Pick 5 jackpot grows by $10,000 each time it is not won, your enthusiasm is logical. However, no gratuity is required.
You sure? It's 10 gallons of wiper fluid.
I have reconsidered. Would you care to help Marlex and I consume it?
No, I'm good.
Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hoegemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Take your adventures to new heights when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Lincoln. Explore our current lineup to find a luxury SUV that exceeds your expectations. Receive 1.9% APR for 36 months on all 2023 Lincoln models. The Lincoln Aviator, Lincoln Corsair, Lincoln Nautilus, and Lincoln Navigator provide a sense of elevated peace to every moment of your drive. Experience the power of Sanctuary in-store or online at woodhouselincoln.com. With approved credit, expires 7/3/23. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. 26 Husker students presented research findings on nuclear deterrence to a panel of U.S. Strategic Command officials at STRATCOM headquarters in Bellevue. The student-led presentation was the culmination of a semester of STRATCOM-guided research and the latest in a years-long partnership between STRATCOM and the National Security Studies program at Nebraska.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions with every field. About 15 minutes left for the coach. Our football show here for the week. Huskers getting ready for Louisiana Tech Saturday afternoon at 2:30. Bart on a text for you, Coach. What are some of the bigger differences in your eyes from coaching in the college level to the National Football League?
There's a lot. I spend a chunk of my day on recruiting. I spend a chunk of my day, or at least of my week, on academics. So at that level, it was, come in, we work, you guys go home, we finish work and see you tomorrow. If something happened off the field or something happened, no player was going to call me. The club would handle it, right? So it's just, way more transactional, way less personal. It's, the guys we have are our guys, guys there on Tuesday. GM comes in, hey, we're cutting them. We're bringing a new guy in. You have 4 new guys each week. So it's just a different environment, right? And then, the football's way different. The football, we're preparing right now for tempo, for RPO, for tackle over, in the NFL, there's about 4 or 5 run plays you see. There's a lot of different pass plays, and, every once in a while a team comes along like Kansas City or the Eagles who are doing some more college things, but here you have to defend a ton of stuff. And so football's a little bit different, but at its core, it's still all blocking and tackling. So, but yeah, I love this age group. I love watching guys go from young men into men, and it's fun to be on the journey with them.
Jeff in Omaha, Coach, if you could build and sustain a top 5 offense or a top 5 defense, which would you choose?
Probably a top 5 defense. I think that you don't see when you go back and look at the teams who've won championships, who've won it all, right? You don't see many teams do that who don't play defense. You don't see many teams who do that who run 100 plays. It's one thing to do that in September and October. It's another thing to do that late in the year, November, December.
Right.
And maybe someone can do it. Maybe people have. But even Clemson, who's a little bit more spread out, even they've always had great running game. They've always had great defense. So I just think when you're trying to get to the very top, you look at the teams who are at the very top. And you say, what's the formula? And I think it's it's the ability to play great defense, have complementary offense, and complementary special teams. And so I'd probably say defense.
Georgia's last 2 national champions, they've been unbelievable on that side of the ball. Hi, Coach. A little off topic. Coffee. I see you enjoy a cup of joe. What is your favorite, and do you do cream or sugar?
So I only drink my coffee black. I like black coffee. I like to drink a lot of it. I'll take it from anywhere. Sometimes when I drive in, I'll stop at the mill over by the Cornhusker on Innovation Campus.
Yep.
Sometimes there's I forget, I'm going to say the wrong name, right? There's the mill downtown. When I was living downtown, I'd walk to, or there's right underneath Tipsy Tina's, there's a place there called the Rabbit Hole.
Rabbit Hole. Yeah.
So I lived right above there, so I'd go there all the time. So, I like a black coffee. I like an Americano. I like what I would call a red eye. That here I guess they call a crowbar, like a coffee with 3 shots of espresso. So I like a little jolt, and but I drink it all day long.
You do all day.
I'm drinking it right now. I'll be drinking it if you see me at 9 or 10 tonight. I'll probably be drinking it then.
I'm kind of I get it in the morning, and it's off. I run. So, how about some of these questions tonight? Right, we're getting a little all over the place.
I'm having to think. I'm having to
Is that all right?
really having to unlock from law tech, game planning to hey, who are you, Matt? What do you believe in?
That's all right. Good stuff. Keep them coming, folks. 402-413-2400. So after this, it's all in the conference play. Probably in your day. Well, was Penn State no, they had just joined the Big Ten when you were playing there, right? They left independent and gone. So here we are, 9 conference games, 3 non-conference games. There will be a difference, right? Because you probably know the league teams a little bit better than some of these teams you play out of conference.
Yeah, for me, it's all new though. So
True.
For me, it's just George O'Leary gave me advice a long time ago. He said, just play them one at a time, Matt. Stop. Before the season, I was talking about he was the head coach at UCF, and I was at Temple, and I was like, well, we play these guys, but we don't play these. He's like, Matt, just play them all one at a time. And I think that's one of the major things I'm trying to get across to our guys, right? Like, hey, stop estimating the opponent. Don't overestimate them, don't underestimate them. It's a nameless, faceless opponent. Let's worry about the Huskers. Let's worry about the things that we're doing. Let's worry about the things that we need to improve upon. And I've liked that about our guys, that they come out every week trying to improve. So this is a week for us. We have 2 goals every week. We want to go 1-0. We want to find a way to win at home. by 1 point in 7 overtimes against La Tech. Like, whatever it takes. We want to find a way to go 1-0 and have everyone leave the stadium happy, players, coaches, staff, and most importantly, the fans. And we want to improve. And so we're trying to improve specific things. I want every player to improve. Offensively, we need to improve this. Defensively, we need to improve this. And if you have that mindset over time, then I think you build a heck of a program.
Question in the chat room, Coach, what's the deal with this Smoke Harris? I'm sure hearing his name a lot this week.
He's dynamic. You know, they're down 17. I mean, they do a lot of things really well, as I said, but you know, he's first team All-Conference, Conference USA, explosive run after catch. And so, you know, to me, you know, we have to handle versus this offense the conflict of, hey, the run game plus the quarterback run game plus some tempo probably, plus getting the ball to guys in space with the screen game, with the RPO game. And so there's a lot of things to manage. And you have to tackle well, you have to run to the ball, because a guy like that, you know, he makes a catch, makes one guy miss, or has a good angle and he can go score. And, you know, they scored 10 points in the last 2 minutes of the game, and the last touchdown was a screen that he took about 60 yards for a touchdown and made everyone miss. So he's a really good player. And that's who I want our team to be. I want us to want to play against good players. We shouldn't want to play against people that we don't think are any good, because how can we show how good we are? So our DBs, they're working to be ready for that, as are all our guys, and it'll take everybody.
Very good. Woodhouse Auto Family, they're your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. Back with some final thoughts from the coach next.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
There's room at the table, saving you money on every gallon at a CVA fuel site. Central Valley Ag offers a 5-cent per gallon discount at the pump to CVA fuel card holders. Now, for a limited time, get a 5-cent discount and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game when you get a new or additional CVA fuel card. Sign up to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get a 5-cent per gallon discount using a CVA fuel card. For a limited time, register for a fuel card and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Just a couple minutes left with the coach. 402-413-2400. Another text for you, Coach. A number 57 put a block on a defensive back on one of Harburg's run. It was the best block I've ever seen in a long time. He absolutely flattened that guy. Ethan Piper.
Yeah, we ran quarterback draw there in the fourth quarter and accelerated to the second level and had dominant contact. Knocked over the DB. It was one of the blocks, kind of like Roman's block, that we showed the team. And that's kind of who Pipe is. I'm sure he helped him up and said, "Hey, good luck on the next play," because he's such an amazing person, wonderful person, and a future teacher. Great play. Love seeing the guys be physical like that.
They were using that on the Monday Night Football pregame show last night on ESPN.
What's that?
They showed that block.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, talked about it for a couple of minutes.
Interesting. I
It's
didn't know
like
that.
one of their plays of the weekend. Carla, for you, Coach, I understand you say a chunk of your day is concerning academics. I'm impressed to hear that. What is your role in the players' academic responsibilities?
Yeah, so obviously I'm not involved in. I can't be involved in anything from a tutoring, anything like that. That's handled by Dennis LeBlanc and his staff. But we meet every Thursday. We go over every single player, every single grade, every single class, every single assignment that's been done. Everything. At this age, if you say how you doing in school, they'll say I'm fine, I'm straight, I'm good. So just making sure that we understand, hey, what's coming up. What do they have to do? And then if guys need extra study hall, we make sure that they, get them extra, put them in there for extra time if they're doing great. Manage that as well. So it's just supporting the academic staff and then day-to-day compliance. We check the football staff, our player development staff. We check classes. The number one thing to get a great education in college and have success is to show up every day. And so we make sure that they're there, make sure that they're in study hall. So we're more kind of the compliance arm to let Dennis and his staff do a great job.
Text for you, Coach. What are your thoughts about option football?
I love finding ways to utilize the option. I think they really killed a lot of option football when they got rid of low blocking, cut blocking. When you watch the 80-yard, when we put on the 95, 97, we watch 32 option and all those things. You see the fullback arc, the guy running over the top, and he cuts him, and now you can't cut anybody down the field. So you see Army abandon the option. You see Navy running it and not having the same success they did even 7 years ago. So I think it's really sad that I don't know that I agree with all that. I think getting blocked in the legs is part of the game. But we've been utilizing when we can some ways to get a couple of those plays a game, just to keep people honest, try to limit the amount of times. We just haven't gotten the ball pitched really the way we'd like, and explosive play, but hopefully that'll be coming.
Heinrich had a great read on the one that he scored the long 20-yard touchdown run, but he did a good job on that read.
Even the first play of the game, was an old school, a belly G option, right? That was a hallmark of this place, and everyone from Eric Crouch to Coach Osborne to Ron Brown has coached us up on it, and we've run one a game, and we've been able to, I think that run he had was a 5 or 6 yard run, so again, he kept it ducked up inside as he's supposed to. One of these days, hopefully we'll get the ball pitched and let the tailbacks go racing down the sidelines.
Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Tough news on Monday with he announced a couple of running back seasons are over. Now it's time for guys to step up, right? They're here. It's time. Quentin was probably going to redshirt. Now you're going to have to play him.
Yeah, first of all, it's Anthony's show. Anthony's obviously, he's gone through a lot in the last 3 weeks. I think it's made him better. I thought he had an excellent practice this morning. Sometimes we go through a little adversity to come out the other side hopefully better and be more complete. And so I think as great as he can be, hopefully he's even more complete. He's definitely doing a much better job in the protection game and catching the ball in the backfield. Emmett Johnson's a guy who's been waiting his turn, as team can be, smart, explosive, athletic.
We're about out of time.
And Quentin Eyes. I'm excited to see Quentin play.
It's his time to go.
Yep.
He's here to play football.
So football players play football.
Right. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, another hour of Sports Highlight on the other side. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Husker fans, Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience. The best and largest selection of apparel for the whole family. Adidas, Champion, Columbia, plus gifts, accessories, and all of your tailgating needs. UNL students, faculty, and military always receive a 10% off in-store, and you can earn cash back with Hall Pass rewards. Shop their downtown Lincoln or South Point Pavilion locations or anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Husker fans shop.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
There's room at the table, saving you money on every gallon at a CVA fuel site. Central Valley Ag offers a 5-cent per gallon discount at the pump to CVA fuel card holders. Now, for a limited time, get a 5-cent discount and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game when you get a new or additional CVA fuel card. Sign up to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Nebraska offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield spoke to the media about a variety of different topics. One of those topics was the challenges that the Louisiana Tech defense posed for this weekend.
Like, I don't know if y'all got down with the Southern Illinois, that's a very good football team. They played really hard. They were very impressive physically. It's a great football team we beat. Louisiana Tech's the same way. I think their front seven is really the best part, the most productive part of their defense. I think they have two linebackers that have played a lot of football. I can't remember names, but 6 and 3 are all over the place. 11 and 1 playing corner. They got a sound defense, and they're super athletic, and they've all played a lot of football. They're physical. They attack the ball. They try to knock the ball out, create turnovers, which obviously that's something that taboo with us right now. We've got to make sure we're taking care of the football. So they present a definite challenge for sure.
More from Coach Satterfield and Coach White in a little bit. The Big Ten officially announced the dates for the 2023-2024 men's basketball conference games earlier today. Nebraska starts conference playoff at Minnesota on December 6th before hosting Michigan State December 10th. To close out the conference season, the Huskers host Rutgers on March 3rd before closing at Michigan on March 10th. For the full conference schedule, along with more information, visit Huskers.com. In national news, the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced their ballot of 173 players earlier today. Some of the new first-year players on the ballot include Julius Peppers, Antonio Gates, Jordy Nelson, and Jamal Charles. The list will be reduced to 25 semifinalists in November and to 15 players in January before being trimmed again. Finally, some Major League Baseball scores. The Rays lead the Angels 2-1 in the 5th, the Twins lead the Reds 2-0 in the 4th, the Braves lead the Phillies 1-0 in the 3rd, and the Royals lead the Guardians 2-0 in the 2nd. Later tonight, the Astros host the Orioles, and the D-backs host the Giants. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student-athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Heinrich with 5 on a play clock, gets the snap, hands it off to Ameer. No fakes, a handoff, throws it to the flat to Kemp, makes a catch, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Great ball fake by Heinrich, flipped it in the flat to Kemp, scoots in there. Nebraska leads at 6-0.
Liz Grigorski, former Wisconsin Badger, line drive serve, good pass. Rodriguez the slide. Wow, Andy Jackson, kaboom! And that draws some oohs and ahs.
It's the shotgun snap, now rolls the pocket to the right, turns, throws downfield. The pass is going to be, I think, picked off in front of the Husker bench. INT for Quentin Newsom, his first career INT.
Cammy Minor sends the serve, good pass set to the middle. Andy Jackson off the ticket out. Bench point, big run. They take down Stanford on the road at Maples Pavilion, and the Big Red's undefeated.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2, Sports Nightly here on a Tuesday night. I hope you enjoyed the coach last hour. Lots of topics, black coffee, lots of it.
With espresso in it.
With some espresso every now and then in there.
I would be bouncing off the walls.
Right?
I don't really drink caffeine, but when I do, it really, I'm wired. And so I can only imagine coffee with espresso, I would be bonkers.
The question about would you rather have a top 5 offense or defense, I knew exactly where he was going with that one.
Oh, yeah.
Defense.
I think a lot of the staff would say that.
Well, and I agree with it, too. I think if you can't play defense, because you're going to have weeks where your offense isn't quite right. You might turn the ball over a little bit. But if you play defense week in and week out, you can win.
Well, because when's the last time? I know there's been a few, but it's not very often. When's the best offense in the country in playing for a national title? Because a lot of times... So, I know when I was working at Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley was there, they had the number 1 offense, but they'd make it to the college football playoff, and then they'd get beat in the first round by an Alabama who plays good defense. Or, the Oklahoma and Georgia matched up, and it was like an epic game. Remember in the Rose Bowl, and it was like...
high scoring.
Yeah. But, I think that was part of the argument at the time was that, they're never going to be able to win a national title because they can score a bunch of points, but they weren't stopping people very well.
And Lincoln Riley's trying to buck that trend because he really hasn't changed.
Yeah.
At USC.
And we'll see how USC fares at the end of this season, but it was the same thing last year. In the bowl game, right, they played Tulane, and Tulane was a pretty good defensive team and ends up beating them. So, it's just, I mean, I'm trying to think maybe like when it would be where the number one offense, but you can always keep yourself in a game if you have a top defense.
One of the Deshaun Watson Clemson teams might have been one of the top offensive groups.
Yeah.
With Justin Ross and some of those guys, that they would be right in that range, I would think. People in the chat room are mad at me, Jessica. They're like, Greg, ask him, is Jeff Sims starting? I wasn't going to ask because I wasn't going to get an answer.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get an answer, but they don't know that right now. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. There's still a long way to go in this week. He practiced. He took several snaps. We heard Marcus Satterfield say that. I'm sure we'll hear the exact quote coming up. But it's Tuesday. They don't know how he is. I mean, it was up until Friday that they were still evaluating. So if he's going to continue to progress along, and then you just never know it. And I think he even said this in his press conference. Sometimes he'll get a report and they're good to go, and then some for Tuesday, and then sometimes it takes him a while. You never know. You never know how things progress throughout a week. It's still very, very early in the week. I don't think they know. I mean, I think they might have an idea, but they're not going to probably know for sure until they know that Jeff is 100% ready to go and that they feel good about him running out there. Because, I mean, again, you're also thinking, yeah, you want to get him out there and get him going, but you also are thinking has been our guy, right? And I don't think he's going to lose his job. But when he is healthy, you don't want to rush it and then risk him being injured again, right? You want to balance that. So I don't think they know at this point. I mean, he wouldn't have said it, but then also I don't really think they know at this point. I think they're going to wait and see how it progresses. Yeah,
the perfect point is what you just had. They still have 3 practices left before the game. So there's just so much time between now and then. And he even kind of said yesterday, he goes, I'm probably not even going to tell you later in the week because it's competitive advantage if I hold that close to the vest. How about the great text we got from James in Omaha talking about bringing his son down to the game and getting extra time with Blaze and Nash and Brian Buschini, hanging out and talking to his son a little bit, and then Ethan Piper having his young son sign his cast. That doesn't surprise you, does it?
No, and those 4 guys, not at all. I mean, Brian Buschini has the biggest heart and wants to use his platform to give back. And Nash, I actually sat down with him for the Cornhusker conversation today, and he is that guy. And I think Tony White even said that about him today. He does everything right. He's a great football player, but then off the field, he does everything right. And so those guys are the guys that you don't, I mean, yeah, it doesn't surprise you that they're taking the time to do that for sure.
All right, we've got a practice report coming up here in a few minutes. We will hear from both Marcus Satterfield and Tony White. They both met with the media earlier today after the Tuesday practice. So they decided to tweak this a little bit. These guys had been talking on Wednesday, and then they decided, let's just have them talk on Tuesdays. And then Wednesday's kind of now an off day for the football program not to talk to the media. I'm okay with that. Don't know that you need to make somebody available every single day during the week.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a lot. Anyways.
So did the media. They were complaining.
Really? Yeah. They're complaining about too much availability?
Yeah, we're here every day.
They
were.
But it is. I mean, you probably would like to just come in and knock it all out. And, and then also, too, for a football team and a program, you have your Sunday, and then, we know this, the schedule about coach talks on Monday. It's kind of a little bit of an off day, right? But then once you get to where you're starting to get into the heart of things, so you get it all knocked out, and then that's done, you move on, and you move all into game prep, and there's no other of the distractions or anything like that. It's hey, we're okay, we're done talking. A head coach talks one more time, and we're good to go. But I feel like that's how it is in most places, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, to me, having somebody every day seemed a little extreme.
I mean, even for me coming from Oklahoma, I couldn't believe how much availability there was here. Even just 2 years ago, there's a lot. And it speaks to this program and the amount of people that care about it and want to read about it and hear about it.
Which is great.
And it is. Yeah. And there's a lot of interest in this. And it's why the ratings are typically always there. And so But yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, you condense it down, get it all knocked out, and then everybody's happy.
Well, both coaches had quite a bit to say, including talks about Jeff and his progress coming off that ankle injury that he suffered in Boulder a couple weeks ago. So we'll hear comments from both of them. And we want to hear from you too as well. 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. They are your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back to hear from the coordinators. We'll do that next.
Visit Woodhouse Mazda during the Season of Discovery sales event and explore the entire lineup of award-winning Mazda sedans and CUVs, like the Swift and Sporty Mazda CX-30. Get a $500 rebate on a Carbon Edition Mazda CX-30, or take advantage of 2.9% APR for 36 months or 4.9% for 60 months. This is Woodhouse Mazda. When financed with Mazda Financial with approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/31/2023. See dealer for details.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. I'm going to show you my steps for making the perfect radio ad. This one's about innovation refunds and the ERC. First step, be relatable. I like pizza and puppies. 2, cold hard info. The ERC is a tax credit for eligible businesses that kept employees on payroll in 2020 and 2021. So if you qualify, Innovation Refunds Network of Independent Tax Attorneys could help you claim it. 3, go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Day by Day is the new documentary about Tom Osborne and the Nebraska Cornhuskers' decade-long pursuit of a national championship. Featuring interviews with former players and coaches, as well as famous fans like Peyton and Archie Manning, Larry the Cable Guy, and numerous NCAA and NFL legends. Day by Day is the riveting, untold story of one of the most dominant, celebrated, and controversial football teams ever. Now available on demand.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
There's room at the table, saving you money on every gallon at a CVA fuel site. Central Valley Ag offers a 5-cent per gallon discount at the pump to CVA fuel card holders. Now, for a limited time, get a 5-cent discount and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game when you get a new or additional CVA fuel card. Sign up to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Greetings, human neighbor. Hey, Zendar. I brought you a little gift for suggesting Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It's a great game.
Affirmative. Since the Pick 5 jackpot grows by $10,000 each time it is not won, your enthusiasm is logical. However, no gratuity is required.
You sure? It's 10 gallons of wiper fluid.
I have reconsidered. Would you care to help Marlex and I consume it?
No, I'm good.
Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. with the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Tuesday night. Hope you enjoyed the head football coach in your last hour for an entire hour. We talked a lot of things. Coffee, whether he liked the NFL or college. I mean, it was a lot of stuff in that hour.
Ameer Abdullah.
I mean, I did not know he was that tight with Ameer.
Yeah.
He kind of lit up when that highlight popped on there.
Lots of things.
Yeah. Well, both coordinators met with the media earlier today. That allows us to give you a practice report.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
We will start with Husker offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield, and let's get it out of the way right out of it. How is Jeff Sims progressing off that ankle injury?
Today was his most active day. He probably got, 55% of the reps, and so he's out there moving around. I made him keep the ball early on. We do a little team compete period, and I called some stuff where he had to keep the ball and run, and he did a nice job with that. So he's progressing at the rate that we thought he would, and the whole group is just, they're working and preparing for Louisiana Tech, having a good week so far.
I mean, again, like we said, he's progressing, and probably, he went through almost full warm-ups last week, was out in full uniform, but just when they started doing those drop-back passing drills, he did not do that. But he sounded like he was progressing along pretty good last week, but he didn't practice until, Thursday night? Yeah. So, I think that was good, and it was good for a lot of reasons to give him a chance to get right and not rush it back, to see that you can have some confidence in your backup and to see what you have in him, and to, again, just maybe build some continuity. But because I don't think the offense changed much between Jeff Sims and Heinrich Harburg, so it still allowed for the offense to continue to progress in the way that you want them to, despite the quarterback difference. And so I think there's a lot of positives that they could, hey, let's get you healthy, and then let's see how you go. But now that they were able to do that, now he's able to start, again, continuing to progress along this week.
Do we read into it the 50 to 55% of the reps? Maybe if you say that kind of means, and this is Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that would lead me to believe he's probably close to being ready to go on Saturday. But, I'm speculating because I wasn't there. So
yeah, I don't know either. But, it is good that he was able to take that many reps at this point. It means he's progressing.
Interesting question here. Coach was asked about, do you look at past performances when you're trying to decide who to start, or just how they look in practice? Here was his answer.
I'm sure Coach would say the same thing. It's a day-to-day deal for us. Like, just go out and compete, see who's going to give us the best chance to win on Saturdays. So Jeff's healing up and getting back to stride, but Heinrich's having a good week coming off the last game. So we're just taking it day by day and to see what happens.
Again, I think it's good to see, and Searles talked about that he's a big believer that you shouldn't lose your job because you got hurt. But the fact that Heinrich was able to do what he did, it shows shows the team, it shows Jeff, like, hey, there's a very capable backup behind you that just performed pretty well in a game. And so, iron sharpens iron. We've heard the staff say this over and over again. So the fact that you see that Heinrich was able to come in and do what he did, and this team believes in him. They believe in, and Coach Rhule, we just heard him talk a lot about that team camaraderie and believing in each other and all of that. it's really genuine when you see these guys talking about whichever quarterback they believe in. I mean, look at how far back Thomas Fidone and Heinrich Haber go back, and Gabe Ervin and all of that. So, you know, I think they'll be ready to go whichever quarterback it is, and I think they believe in whoever it is. And as we heard Coach Rhule say, whoever gives them the best chance to win come Saturday, that's who they're going to roll with. And I think this team will be ready to go with whoever it is. Obviously, as we just saw, they were ready to go with Heinrich Haber.
That's right. You mentioned Thomas Fidone. Coach Satterfield was asked about what growth he has seen from his tight end over the first 3 games.
I think just the confidence, you know, I mean, go through what he went through when he first got here with the injuries, and then just to get back out there and get to play in games. Like, you know, he's finally getting to play in games. He's finally getting the ball coming to him. He's finally getting to make plays. Shows the athlete that he is. So I think he's every game, every play, every rep, he's just going to continue to improve. But he's a unique player, just how big he is and how fast he is, and, you know, his ball skills. So, you know, we got to make sure that the ball's going to him and getting, you know, he's getting his touches each game for us to be productive on offense.
I think we've seen some of the things that he can do when you throw the ball his way, but if you listen to the latest Sideline Slice just dropped this afternoon, that's one thing that Jeremiah Searles dives into, is that you've also seen his progression in his blocking, his pass protection, the run block, all of that. Because if you want to be a every down tight end, it's not just about catching the football when it comes your way. It's about the things you're doing when it's not coming your way. And he said he's seen a big deal of progress with Fidone between these first 3, or from game 1 to game 3. And, you know, we heard from Fidone last night, and he told me that something clicked last week in practice, that it finally started to slow down for him. And as confident as he is, as good as he felt, there still just takes some time when you're coming off an injury and you haven't played football really consistently in 3 years. And so it felt like it was his best week of practice last week. And I think we're going to continue to see each week him feeling better and better, and more closer to game speed, and more that the quarterbacks feel comfortable throwing the ball, and more that this offense continues to scheme around him.
Well, and that comment he said, we've got to keep feeding him the ball. Remember, we were surprised. In Minnesota, he didn't get targeted. Didn't even look for Thomas in the Minnesota game. Then they did in Boulder, and then they did more last week. So I think they know this guy's a matchup nightmare for people because he is so big and strong. And we saw how he clutched that pass out of the air in Boulder. I think not a lot of people can do what he can do.
Yeah, he can jump real high, and then just his strength and how he grabs it away from people. He has like fast hands too. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. There's the way that like he can grab things. It just you can see some special skills that he has that I even don't think a lot of the tight ends, as good as the tight ends have been here recently, I think you even see some different types of skills that he can do.
I agree.
That even the great tight ends at the last 2 or 3 years that have been here even couldn't do.
All right, you heard Coach Rhule say last year it's Anthony Grant's show now to be the lead back with Gabe out and Ameer out. How about the guys behind Anthony? Here's Coach Satterfield.
I mean, Ives is out there. You know, he's getting some reps with the boys today. That dude's super explosive. You know, he's a baby. But, you know, I think he's got some ability, athletic ability. So, I mean, I think we got, 3 or 4 guys that, Lubick went out there last play of the game and got 12 or 14-yard run. So, they come in all shapes and sizes. And until you get your chance, you really don't know, what they're going to do.
If you watch his basketball film, his high school film, he is absolutely could be an electric type of playmaker if he gets the ball in his hands. It's some of the other things, and this is where you don't know until you throw a freshman out there, but some of the pass protection and the picking up blitzes and holding onto the football, some of those things, until you get them into a game, you don't know what you have. Know. So, but yeah, no doubt, if you just go back and watch some of his high school film, you can see how electric he could be. And I'm excited. I'm also excited to see Emmett Johnson and Anthony Grant that, hey, we just heard Coach Rhule say a few minutes ago, it's his show.
Yep.
And he's more than capable. We saw it last year. He's more than capable of him being the guy. So it's got to be next man up. That's just got to be the mentality at this point.
All right, let's switch to defense. Tony White also met with the media today. And one guy that had a career high Saturday night in tackles was Nash Hutmaker. And Jessica's going to sit down with him to be the Cornhusker conversation for this week's game. Here's Coach White talking about Nash's play on and off the field and the maturity that he has shown as well. Here's the coach.
I see a guy who
is starting to understand how good he is. I think he's one of the best D linemen in the country. You know what I mean? And he's proven that to us. So now it's more so he's putting it on the grass and kind of proving it to everybody else, But he's a guy who you root for because he does everything the way you want it to be done. He was a black shirt in the mat drills, doing everything right, low maintenance, great grades, great teammate. He's one of the organizers. He had all of they all stay in the house, him and Lucas and all those guys stay in the house. And we had family dinner yesterday, and they organized where they finally, all of them brought their girlfriends and stuff over, and it was like amazing to be able to be with them, be with them and be amongst them. And that's, again, that goes back to the whole entire process, not just being about the grass and being football players, but us all being in this thing together.
One of the big things, I'll spoiler alert on the Cornhusker conversation, I did talk to him about wrestling because everyone thought he was going to be this NCAA champion wrestler. That's probably what he's known for the most in the state of South Dakota, just a dominant wrestler. And I asked him, why did you make that decision? He said, because I felt like my ceiling, I was higher in football and I had only begun to scratch the surface of where I could go. And I think he's just kind of getting there. And so then I followed up. And so I think that's where it's, for so long we had heard how strong he is and how hard he is to move. But I think it's the game of football because he was a wrestler for a long time. But I think he was so green when he got here, and then it's finally just starting to settle in, and he's had these different coaches, and he praised Terrence Knighton. He's a big fan of Terrence Knighton. That whole room is. If there would be one coach maybe that I shouldn't say this, but Terrence Knighton's huddles are probably my favorite to listen into. The way that he coaches up his guys, but, and Nash said how much he's learned from Terrence Knighton. I just think things are starting to really click for him. He's embraced the leadership role. He's an older guy. I just think it comes to that point. Sometimes it clicks early for guys. Sometimes it takes some time. And so I think he was green coming in, and it's just starting to all kind of come together for him, and he's really embracing his role.
Did you ask about his acting skills?
I did. He said he had fun with it. He loved it.
That's the SOS commercial, folks, that Nash is in part of that. Well, Tony White's defense has been great. There's number 2 in the country in rush defense after 3 weeks of the season, just playing some really good football. But can they get better? Ask that to the coach, and you're going to get an earful.
Yeah, again, it starts at the top, right? Because it's real easy that you come off a win and everybody's feeling good and all that stuff. But, coach is always figuring out ways to make sure that everybody on the team is motivated and see that truly, right, we can get a lot better. Some of that stuff out there was ridiculous. And if we focus on that, on the process of playing great defense, play in and play out, everybody doing their job, then it shows up on the grass. And when it shows up on the grass, the guys, again, they believe. And then they believe more in the process. And then they put more feet to the grass of the process. And then, you're able to look after the season when we're said and done. And if we're a great defense then we're a great defense. But right now we're an improving defense.
And again, I've sat down with 3 of my 4 Cornhusker conversations. I've been with defensive players, and as good as they've been and as much praise as they've gotten, it only fuels them even more. Even the things that weren't good enough, it makes them matter. They want to be even better at it, right? It's not like, they're hearing, hey, we're so good, but it just fuels them to want to even build and be even more dominant. And that's where this defensive staff has these guys thinking and believing and fueled by, as they are by no means satisfied, but not even close. And so as much praise as we all give them and as good as they played for 3 games, no, don't tell them that. They're not listening to that because they know that they can be better.
I thought they would be good. Because we saw at the end of last year, that was a good defense out there. Nebraska darn near, they did beat Iowa. They had Wisconsin on the ropes late. They had Minnesota shut out the first half. They did a good job on that Illinois team. They were playing, and that's a credit to Bill Bush, who took over that defense midseason last year. They were playing really well at the end of the year, and a lot of those guys are back.
Yeah, they are. They played a lot of football, and then they bought into what this staff is doing.
Yep.
So they've played a lot of football. They've played a lot of football together, which you and I talked about in fall camp. It's just so different when you have a lot of players that, even if you're not chemistry is a big thing in basketball and certain other sports, but I think it can really help a football team too when you've got guys that you've been through so much together for so many years at all three levels of that defense, and they just know each other so well, but then they're also so hungry and want to do it for each other. And that was another thing that I heard Nash brought up today, but I've heard multiple players say to me too, is that going back to what they did in the summer and getting to know those guys, getting to know each other off the field, they've seen how much it's fueled them on the field and wanting to do it for the guy next to them because they know them on a different level and they want to be able to perform for them. But yeah, I mean, they had and honestly, I think that you have to give a lot of credit to this coaching staff that they were able to keep all of those guys because this day and age with the transfer portal, a lot of those guys that have played, you're talking about veteran guys that play a lot of football in the Big Ten. They could have gone a lot of different places. A lot of these players, you don't think Ty Robinson couldn't have found a place that wanted Luke Reimer. I mean, all these guys that are experienced players that some of these other teams very well could have poached, and they stayed put. And a lot of that is a testament to this coaching staff. It's a testament to these players that they wanted to stick together. But yeah, I mean, I think that all goes into where it is, and then now you're seeing what the schemes are with Tony White and how much they're buying into what he wants to do. I think it all is what's kind of adding up to what we're seeing so far.
Last week, folks, we told you that the defense for Northern Illinois was pretty solid. We didn't talk much about their offense. This week, it's the reverse. Louisiana Tech's offense is pretty good. Their defense, I think Nebraska can put some points on the board. But the challenge is for Tony White and his crew. It's a pretty good offense. Here's the coach breaking down Louisiana Tech.
They're good. I mean, they run the ball for over 180 yards a game. So I know for all this, they want to throw it all over the park, and they're really effective throwing the ball. Got a lot of formations. They got explosive wide receivers, multiple, but 6 is dynamo in there, and then their backs. I mean, I think their backs are really good. They make guys miss, and then they're explosive. And then, just the system, they're going to find answers. Very similar to Colorado-ish, in terms of the passing game. Get the ball out quick, get it to playmakers in space. Then when they want to take their shots, they'll be calculated and throw it deep. We're going to see deep shots. So they're tough. You see why they have a lot of success on offense.
And it's a different look, right, than what they just saw. So it'll be a good challenge. And I think that's another thing, too, is that we're not overlooking. If you walk throughout that facility, last week there was 1-0 versus NIU. Those have been taken down. Now it's 1-0 versus La Tech, because we can all start maybe talking about the Michigan game. We heard the kickoff time, all of that. But for this team, it's what they need to do this week and to continue to get better. And I think that's you heard Tony White just talking about how Coach Rhule does a good job of keeping them motivated and focused on the task at hand. I mean, I think they're buying into that too. Is nope, what do we got to do this week to be better this week against this football team?
Yep, it's stay focused in the moment and don't look ahead. We haven't had it so much on our show, but Big Red Reaction, there was a lot of Michigan chatter on Big Red Reaction Saturday night. All right, folks, what do you think? What'd you hear? 402-413-2400. We'll open up the phone lines if you have some thoughts about what the coaches had to say here today. Also time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone at the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
There's room at the table, saving you money on every gallon at a CVA fuel site. Central Valley Ag offers a 5-cent per gallon discount at the pump to CVA fuel card holders. Now, for a limited time, get a 5-cent discount and be entered to win 2 VIP tickets to a Husker football game when you get a new or additional CVA fuel card. Sign up to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Greetings, human neighbor.
Hey, Zendar. I brought you a little gift for suggesting Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It's a great game.
Affirmative. Since the Pick 5 jackpot grows by $10,000 each time it is not won, your enthusiasm is logical. However, no gratuity is required.
You sure? It's 10 gallons of wiper fluid.
I have reconsidered. Would you care to help Marlex and I consume it?
No, I'm good.
Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Hey, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Tuesday night here on Sports Nightly. 402-413-2400. The number if you want to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. Let's go to the phones. We'll stay in Lincoln, and John's up next. Good evening, John.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm almost 80, and our Nebraska following goes back to when my father saw the Four Horsemen in Notre Dame and was right in front of the Lincoln Hotel when they brought him down by sleigh to play. A group of us people, we're not experts like you are, but we've watched Nebraska football. and I have for over 75 years. The first 5 really don't count. I was too young. But we can know when things are not going right. And we look at Colorado, and we feel that the coaching things have to change. We've had 20 years of the same old story from the radio, television, newspapers, and we're so happy. I didn't go to Saturday's game. I let my brother take another family member, but he was so excited about seeing this quarterback, who was a Nebraska player from Kearney, was so excited. And that player should start next week. And he deserves the right. He's earned it. The principles that went in to make Nebraska fans and everybody love this sport, there aren't the old-time fans. And some of the new-time fans are not going to wait around another 5, 10, 15 years. And I just feel that he should start, and if he doesn't pan out, at least he won. He didn't make a lot of mistakes, and he's from Nebraska. And that's just my only feeling, you know. And I have connections to a lot of people that feel the same way I do, but we won't be around in 2 to 5 years. So maybe they can get by with it. Maybe, you know, but that's just my opinion.
All right. Yeah, John, you're not alone. A lot of people are really pulling for Heinrich to get the start. I just think that an injury should, you know, Jeff won the job in spring and in August, and an injury kept him out of last week's game. I think that they still feel like Jeff gives them the best chance to win week in and week out, but we'll see what happens on Saturday.
I mean, for the people saying that Heinrich's earned the job, and trust me, I love what I saw to Heinrich Harburg, and I think his teammates have rallied behind him in a really big way. But you say he earned the job for one game, but Jeff apparently had won it throughout the spring and fall camp. And so, and you and I talked about the metrics are not the same, what the 2 games that Jeff had on the road and all of that. And so Jeff shouldn't lose his job at this point because, you know, we went into the season with Jeff as a starting quarterback. He had won it. They built the offense around it. So, I mean, he's going to get another opportunity, but I think what it did is Heinrich Harburg showed what he could do if he's needed again. Now you've got a really thin running back room. If there's an opportunity, we saw Heinrich come in and catch a pass. If there's opportunities to get him involved in other ways, you know, to maybe utilize that there, you never know. But I think you saw that now you've seen what he can do in a game, and you can trust him in certain situations. And then, yeah, if those mistakes start piling up again with Jeff Sims, you feel better about knowing that you have a backup that you can go to. But I don't think anybody should lose their job because of an injury. You know, and I really think when Jeff's healthy, it will be his ball again. But at least you feel good about what you saw to Jeff Sims last week, for sure.
Let's go to West Point next, and Husker Dan. Good evening, sir.
Jessica and Greg, how are you this evening?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, we were at the game last Saturday, and I brought a friend that's been down there maybe 20 games, and he looked at me, goes, Dan, he goes, I have never been to the Unity Walk. He goes, you ever been there? I go, oh, a lot of times. I said, you want to go? So I brought him over there, and oh, my goodness. It has changed a bit since the last time I was there. And but what really floored me was I was on top of the steps right before they go in the doors, and I'm just out looking, and then the state patrol brings the buses in and stuff, and it's like I'm kind of looking around, and it's like I couldn't believe the recruits. I was just blown away. They just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. They stood right behind me, right where the football players go in the double doors, and with their parents. And, you know, of course, I was rooting them on and saying, you know, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're Huskers. And I got handshakes and fist bumps, and I said, this was just an amazing experience. I asked my buddy, I said, so what do you think? He goes, oh, my goodness, why wasn't I doing this years ago? So I'll hear your comments, and I'm going to be at the game Saturday, too, rooting them on. So here, go Huskers.
Bring a poncho. Might rain Saturday. It's in the forecast for Saturday. There were a mess of recruits, not just for football. How many head coaches did you see down on the sidelines?
I mean, and it was hard to just get up and down the sideline. It was packed with all the football recruits. I know basketball, both men's and women's basketball. I know that softball had some recruits. I don't know if Coach Bolt did. I didn't make it all the way down, but it is just, I mean, it is so packed down there. So there,
Is Coach Cook down there?
I think, he was going to be. I don't know if he had recruits, but
you didn't see him.
I didn't see him. So, but I mean, I saw the 2 basketball coaches, and I had talked to Coach Rhule before, and she had said that they had some recruits, big time recruits coming in. And I mean, that's the perfect setting.
Why wouldn't you?
The night game, home opener, and like you said last night, who knows if we'll get another night game this year. So that's when you want to get those recruits in, and it's hard. And Coach Rhule said this summer, when you get recruits on campus and you let them experience an experience like that, they have a hard time saying no.
Absolutely. Jim in Columbus said, except for injuries, all I heard tonight was a lot of positive things from the coaches and players. They are all buying into it, and you can see the way that they're playing. That's why the win was so big, because to ultimately get buy-in, they have to see the results and get some wins. And that's why even Coach said that Monday. Is like, you got to be able to get that victory so that you can, guys go, okay, all this work is paying off, and we are starting to win. John in Omaha says, I listen to Coach and what goes into each and every day, and then it's Thursday meetings about his students. Must take forever. I'm surprised that his coffee didn't have 2 shots of espresso. So impressed with him. He will be the answer for Husker football.
Yeah, I mean, they're implementing the kind of culture and that and like you said, I mean, he's got a process to it, right? And I think just from what I've seen, I've been so impressed with how quickly they've got guys to buy into it, because it's not easy, right? They have high expectations for these guys, and it's not just on the football field, it's off the field, in the classroom, and eating together, and how they spend time together, and volunteering. I mean, Gus Felder does a great job of getting those guys to volunteer their time. It is so many different aspects of it, and it is, and I think we've heard the staff saying it's not easy. You know, they have high expectations, but when you buy in and it clicks, boy, it's really rewarding. And so when you can walk off the field with a win, it certainly helps continue. I think they were already had a lot of buy-in, but I think when you add a win to it, it certainly helps the cause, right?
Sure does. Our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline is your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Still a little bit of time left in the hour. 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap tonight's show up next.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Taman 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
We are back inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Camden informed us during the break that it's raining outside right now.
It's pouring. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain. What the heck?
There's a slight chance of that. There is rain in the forecast for Saturday, so dress appropriately. I just hope we don't get a delay, some kind of stoppage.
You need a baseball cap.
You might need a little poncho.
Yeah.
Put on for Saturday. 2:30 kickoff. Next week's 2:30 kickoff as well for the Louisiana Tech and the Michigan games, and then we go back to Friday night in Champaign.
A Friday night game.
Friday night game.
It's going to be weird too.
Isn't that going to be bizarre? we played 2 Friday games this year. That one, and then Iowa is on Black Friday. That's a little different deal.
That feels different. I mean, that's just didn't feel weird to me.
It doesn't feel weird.
But
it feels weird when we travel.
Yes.
We're kind of over there on Thanksgiving Day, and you're kind of like, what are we doing? But home, yeah, it's like whatever.
It's weird. Since I've been here, I'm like, yeah, sorry, I don't really know what Thanksgiving is anymore. Sorry, family.
Yeah. Basketball schedule is out for the men. It's on Huskers.com if you want to go see that. The women, we expect any day now that that's going to come out. My first glance at it, I don't really see a killer stretch where, sometimes you can go, holy cow, those 5 or 6 right there are going to be really hard. It looks pretty balanced to me. I got to think Fred Hoiberg's pretty happy with this. The 2 games that they will play into early December, they will play at Minnesota on Wednesday, December the 6th, and then they get Sparty here on Sunday the 10th. Michigan State should be terrific. They should be a top 5 basketball team, so that'll be a challenge. But then they come back, Indiana at home, at Wisconsin, Purdue here, at Iowa, at Rutgers, Northwestern here. So the whole schedule's out there, but not a stretch where you're like, whew, man, there's 5 in a row that are going to be really, really hard.
Well, and it looks like, too, it's like you go on the road for a tough one, then you get to come home.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of weekend home games. I like that. I like Saturday and Sunday home games.
I like this team. I'm excited to see how they come together, but I also like how they set up the non-conference and leading up to that. I thought that was important because
they took the foot off the gas on the non-con, and I'm okay
with
that.
Which they need to. The Big Ten's too hard to challenge. I mean,
and you play 20 games.
Literally, we see it in the Big 12. Some of these other conferences, like you don't want to beat yourself up in the non-conference when you have such a tough conference. You challenge yourself in the non-conference like really hard when you don't have a good conference to get you into the tournament. But when you have a conference that can set you up for that, there's no need to kill yourself in the non-conference.
And again, you play 20 conference games.
Yeah.
It's just such a load. I think the women are still at 18, but the men play 20 conference games. So it's out there if you want to go see it. They don't have times. I guess that's coming in the next week or so. And again, the women's schedule should pop out in the next couple of days. Wow, that was a good 2 hours.
Fast.
Always fun having the head coach here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Tomorrow night, full 2 hours of us. We might hear from Searles tomorrow night. We may play a little bit of your podcast.
All right, let's do it.
We'll have that. Again, volleyball show not till Thursday. I know some people are still tuning in on Tuesdays, hoping to hear John Cook. He will be here on Thursday.
We did drop an episode of The Dig today, so you can check that out.
They're both out.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks to Camden for steering the ship for us tonight. We're back with you for a full 2 hours tomorrow night. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Taman 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
I have reports of a polar bear on the loose.
Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. Without this, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a censor button. My password to my bank account is Ty's Cool Password 1.